Welcome. In this video, we're going to go over how to use the playback feature to view recorded video. Once you've got your cameras set up, connected, and renamed, and when they're up and recording, if you want to see playback, in the lower left-hand corner on our icons, we have a circle with a green arrow. When we hover over top of it, it says playback. This is the icon we're going to select. Let's go ahead and left-click on that icon. It will bring up a grid, 4 windows. Below it, a timeline with 4 cameras. And on the right-hand side, a calendar, and then another set of icons. So to start off, to see your video, you need to select a time and date. So we're going to pick our date first. So we'll just simply click on the calendar. It will bring up a pop-up window that says select playback time. And you can use this in several different ways. If you simply double-click on the timeline, it will highlight the entire day. If you don't want to do that, you want to clear it out, you simply just right-click on it, and it gets rid of the yellow timeline. Maybe you just want to see a certain time of day. So maybe between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Just simply put your cursor on the timeline, click and hold with the left, drag it as far as you want it to go. It does not have to be exact, just kind of ballparking it there, and it will bring you up video within this time frame. If you're not sure what you need to see or what you're looking for, you may want to do the entire day. So I'm looking to do that. I'm going to right-click to clear it out, double-click, highlights the entire day. Simply click OK in the corner. After it builds the file, and depending on how many cameras and how long you're recording and motion settings, it may take a while to build that record file. Ours went relatively quick. When it is done, at the bottom, you will see the motion detection by each camera. It has the camera name, and then it will also have these little bluish purple lines, and that's showing where the motion actually has occurred. It will show us 4 cameras at once. On the right hand side, we've got arrows pointing up and down. You can use those to scroll through to find which camera you're looking for, which one you want to see, if you're whatever, which one you want. Above our camera names on the left-hand side, there is another, looks like a timeline. It's actually a time stamp. That helps you to pinpoint closer where to start the video. As you see, as I move my cursor along this timeline, that changes. But if I move my cursor away from the timeline, it doesn't move anymore. It's just the last place my arrow was. So if you're watching a video and the time says 10 o'clock, but down here it says, 7:20, don't worry about it. It's just where your cursor was. That's all. It will not sync up with the video that is playing. So also to help you pinpoint times, since we selected the entire day, it actually goes through and gives you all 24 hours. You can zoom in on our timelines by using a plus and minus in the lower left-hand corner. Or you can simply just put your scroll wheel on the time. So I want to find a time on our shipping department approximately around 10:30 to 11 o'clock. So I'm just going to simply use the scroll wheel on my mouse and zoom in on that timeline. I'm just pulling it back towards me, and it's expanding it out. If I want to move back and forth on the timeline, I've got arrows that will shift the line where it was visible. Again, we've got our plus sign. We can zoom in a lot or zoom out. More you're zoomed in, the easier it is to pinpoint a time frame. So if I want to see shipping, I'm going to go ahead and you'll see how I'm moving, and this number here is selected out. So I want to do about 10:50 for the heck of it. So I'm going to get it real close to there. And it may not be exact, but that's okay. I'm simply going to double click on that blue line. It'll bring it up in the window that's selected. How do you select a window? Just click on it, and you'll see it gets a red box around it. You can have several different windows to view at the same time. On our icons on the right-hand side, there's an N with a little grid around it. When I click on that, you have your choice of 1, 4, 9, or 16 views. You can certainly fill them up with as many cameras as you like. It will not do more than 16 views. It's very difficult to watch 16 playbacks at one time. So again, you can pick whichever one you want, whichever you're comfortable with. If you want to see video at the same, play at the same time. Let me find one here. I'm going to move my cursor. So I don't have, at least the current bars here, I've got no other motion because they're gray at that time. So I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Oops. Make sure I click the right window. And then I'm going to select a different window, and I'm just going to pick a different camera and double click on that line as close as I can. And they get pretty close to sync. I can pick another window at the bottom down here, click on it. It will show up. If there's no motion, because they don't always have the same schedules, it will just simply stop. This one's no longer playing back because it's in the gray area. There's nothing to play back. When it hits that purplish blue color again, it will start playing again. If you want to see another camera, you can scroll up and down if it's not in that list. So I could select that last corner, double click on that timeline, and we'll get that last camera. So now all of these are relatively close. They may be a second or two off, but yeah, nothing too full and can't watch. If you decide you want to see one as a single screen, you can either use that N with the grid and select one, or just simply double click on the camera and it will zoom in on it the same way it will on our live view. To get back to it, double click again, and it takes you right back. Now, of course, I happen to select it right. A little blip came up. Now it came back because now it's recording motion again. So you can go through and scroll as many, pick which one you want, scroll around, decide. If you want to pause your video, you're like, hey, I want to see exactly what she's measuring up here on this one. Do not use the stop button over on the right hand side. If you hit stop, it actually stops playback on all of the cameras. You have to start all over again. So I have to pick the date, go through my time, then zoom in again for the approximate time I want to see. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to make it a single view so it's a little easier here. So if I want to see exactly, make sure she's doing that. On the right-hand side, we've got a bunch of icons here. And the second row, last column, it says play/pause. If I click on that, it will pause our video. I click on it again, it plays it again. Toggle switch. We've got a few other icons here. We've got a left and a right. This is back 1 minute. So if I click this, it's going to take it back to 10:51 or 10:52. If I do forward, it's going to take it to 10:52:47. So you can skip back and forth by 1 minute if it's easier to find. You got your pause button. Third row, we have a playback, kind of looks like a little cassette tape. That's our backup button, and we'll do backup in another video. The same with the one next to it, takes a screenshot. The third button in that row, it says next frame. So if I click on this, it will pause our video, and you can click on it, and it will certainly just go frame by frame by frame. So you can see how poor Megan there is only moving in super slow motion, only that button. If you're watching someone in your store, or you're trying to find out what they're doing, exact moment they put something in their pocket or in their bag, you can slow it down and see exactly what they're doing with each motion. To get back to regular playback, just click on the play button above that, get to our regular speed. Speaking of speed, you can change how slow or how fast the video is. At the bottom of this panel, there is a little double playback sign here with a plus and a minus. It's in the middle, so it's in the regular time. If I click this towards the plus sign, it zooms it up. You can see it going a little faster here in our timeline. Megan's jumping around a bit. To get back to regular time, I'm just going to double click on that, or sorry, single click on that timeline again, and it will take us back to our regular time right here in the middle. If I want to go slow, I can go down that minus sign. It will go super slow. It drags out time. Again, anytime you hit that middle button, it'll pick it back to recording. The one below that is an audio. It's a plus and minus for the volume. If you have cameras that are audio, then certainly you can turn the volume up or down, and you'll be able to hear what is said. So I'm going to go back to my other cameras. If I wanted to see more information here, I can double click and then go ahead and pick a different one. So if we decided maybe we're not sure when exactly this box came in. I know we just saw it get dropped off, but if I came in the video, if I just clicked here, like, okay, there's a box there. Well, if I want to find out exactly where that came from, I can go earlier. Well, that box isn't there, so I can kind of keep guessing if I wanted to. Or one of our icons here at the bottom, very first column is, the second column is icon search. On this icon search, it will actually go through intervals of what we see on our screen. So I'm going to select icon search, keeps our date, and we need to pick the camera. Even though we already had the camera selected we're looking at, it does go back to a drop-down list. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to shipping. And I'm going to change the date and time here. I want to make sure that it does where I was relatively close to where I was at. Let's see, I can just go ahead and type this and I'll do 45. So after you get to your start time, next column says image interval. And there's a drop down, it's 1 second, 2 seconds, and you can see how it progresses from there. This is the views that you're going to see each frame. So if I started at 10:45 and I tell it to progress in intervals of 60 seconds, the next frame I'm going to see is 10:46. So this will help you kind of determine when something happens in your store. So I'm actually going to go, I'll do a minute. What the heck? It also takes into account the number of windows you have. So it defaults to 4. This is a time when I want to use that 16 view so I can actually see 16 seconds of progression. So after I have all my parameters set and my view selected, I'm going to click search. And it gives me kind of an overview of what happened almost every minute. And you'll notice that the times are not exact. That is because of if there's no recording going on. So if there's no recording, it will skip and just keep going to the next one. So it does change it a little bit. So around 10:54, that box appears, but it doesn't appear before that. So somewhere between 10:53 and 10:54, almost 10:55, this box comes in. So how do I find out how that got there? Well, I can either go back to my regular Playback and select those times and watch it, or simply from here, I can click in the frame that doesn't have any box in it, and I can go down to the bottom and click play. So she's going to come across, watch it, and then we'll see what happens in the next minute and a half and how that box comes in. It certainly does help you when you're trying to find this. If you've got one item you're trying to find and it's over the course of a day, you don't want to watch Playback for a day. Even when you speed it up, it will take forever. This is certainly much faster. So we're coming up on that time. We're about a minute out. I had set the image interval to 120 seconds, so it's actually 2 minutes. To give you a quick example while we're waiting for that box to appear, the row below it, it actually says 11 o'clock, and it goes 11:18. So obviously it's more than 120 seconds. That's just the next time that camera sensed motion. All right, so here we go. Up there's our box. So it got dropped off at 10:54:19. So that's when you can kind of tell when things appear and don't appear on screen. You can always keep doing a search. So if you want to search for that or you click next, it'll actually keep going. So it will go, the 14, wherever, and that's at current time right now, so it's going to stop there. Why we don't keep going. It'll keep our other screens still available from previous time frames. When you're done with icon search, you just need to click exit, and it will take us back to our regular Playback screen. It did keep our 16 window, so if you want to change that, you can go back to your 4 view, whatever you want. It's up to you. The other button we've got here is an arrow with a little grid around it. That's our play all button. And when you click on that, it gives you each 4 set of group of cameras. Now, when I click on it, it will bring up each camera at that time frame. However, if a camera is not playing or recording at that time, it will be blank. So I'm going to go ahead and just select one here. And at this particular time, only one camera was recording. I can use other ones if I like. You can kind of see how that works. So one camera comes up, and if there's nothing on the other ones, they just won't be there. Our other icons, like I said, the cassette tape is a backup. We're going to do that in our next video. Same with the screenshot, and lower the right-hand one as search images. That's how we're going to back up those screenshots that we're going to take. But primarily what you're going to worry about is the timeline and selecting the window, and then go ahead and pick that camera. I'll go ahead and play. Oops, I duplicated it. So if you have multiple windows picked, make sure you just go ahead and have the one. Stop will take you back to the calendar, so you can go ahead and reset those parameters. So maybe I want to see the day before now. I can click the day before, do OK, and then double click and get your recording. And yep, this one's getting motion because of the cobwebs moving. When you're done with your recording, you're seeing your playback, go ahead and click on this exit button in the lower right-hand corner. It takes us back to our main screen. And you can go ahead and watch your live views, change your group settings, whatever you need to do from there. If you need any help getting your playback done, you can contact us one of two ways. You can go to our website, watcherprotect.com, click on support, and then technical support. After you do that, there's an option to create a support ticket. Go ahead and fill in your name, phone number, email, what the issue is, what you need help with, and that sends us to every tech in the building. So the next available person will be happy to contact you, whether you chose email or phone, and help you out with the playback. You can also give us a call. Phone number is 847-250-0860. That does go into our phone pool. If a tech is available, certainly you'll get a tech, but if they are not, please leave a message and we'll contact you back. If you are only available certain times, please make sure you note that on your message, or if you're doing the online tech support, make sure that you say what times you're there to make sure that we contact you when you're available. So again, either watchtech.com or you can call us at 847-250-0860. Thank you so much, and good luck with your playback.